Hi everybody, PlanetWalls here. We went ahead and chose to play first for the same rationale that I elucidated at the beginning of last round. Basically, let's not die, so let's play first. And then I chose to keep this hand because it's excellent. My opponent appears to be away from his keyboard right now, so we can either talk about some things together, or I can pause. If you guys want me to pause the recording, I can do that. But nobody's saying anything, so all of you are like screaming at your, as though it were a stream. You're like, no, pause it, pause it. Everybody's typing, pause it. No one's probably doing that. That wouldn't make any sense. So don't know where I'm going with that. So here we are. Let's see how this game is going to play out. I'm going to lead off, I think, with a swamp first, in case I draw. I always want to say barter in blood, but sign in blood or whatever it is. Draw 2 cards, take 2, or deal 2 to your opponent when you want them to lose the game. So I'm going to play the swamp first, and I actually have something to drop on turn 2 and start beating down. I got a giant scorpion to follow it up, either aggressively or defensively, and I imagine the following turn is where I'm going to want to mind rot him, especially if he mulligans. That might not be the case. We might draw something else good. Up, opponent is back, so we can go. To do everything like I just said. Swamp, F6, your turn. This is always good because I always feel like I'm the slow one. Excuse me. Just started crying a little bit. Didn't watch my opponent's matches. I'm trying to sort of prep for the Grand Prix, like I said in the deck building section, and as a result, I'm going to go ahead and play this this Dragon Skull Summit in the case that he's going to make me discard something. I'd rather have a land that serves double duty. But anyway, practicing for Grand Prix Worcester, however you say it up here, and you don't get to go watch replays of your opponent's live matches. You know what? I'm awesome, because I was going to have a land. Now I'm going to discard the mountain. Then again, I've got this Volcanic Geyser. So maybe here we discard the swamp, actually, even though it reduces the power of Mutilate. I definitely want to keep all the other cards, though. I'll probably draw that Mutilate, and I'll be 1 land short the entire game. Good to know, though, that he's got a Ravenous Rats. Hope I do draw land next turn. I'd feel a little silly if I didn't, because I would like to play that bat at some point. Good to know that now we keep his rats at bay. Look at how big the scorpion is. Black-green, we could see some combat tricks from him. Titanic Growth. Snow's rats are going to be huge. It's unfortunate. How much does it cost for Gen 2, I believe? Yes. So it's quickly going to become a problem. Volcanic Geyser can take it out this turn. Reasonably unexciting to do that. 1 second. Okay, back. Just wanted to tune out some white noise from the other room. Looks like our opponent didn't do anything in the intervening seconds. Maybe he's double queuing. Might not be. Might just have a bad connection. Might be trying to perform CPR. That is probably one of the worst cards we could have drawn. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. The question is, do I want to Volc Geyser that while I still can? I think there's reason to wait and Volcanic Geyser it later, or not Volcanic Geyser it. Because a 2/2 Ravenous Rats, even though it could trade with a Walking Corpse and regenerate even, is not my biggest concern. However, I don't have anything else to do this turn, which is unfortunate. Another thing to pay attention to with this little gentleman, there are good reasons to leave swamps in your deck with Evolving Wilds. So later on you can return him to your hand, or be more likely to do so anyway. Putting him at 15 here doesn't really feel that good. Mind Rotting doesn't feel excellent, but if I do draw land like I hope to, Mind Rot probably won't get played in a while, unfortunately. So I'm thinking about Mind Rotting after combat, even though it isn't an optimal use of the card. In fact, his Ravenous Rats is doing a lot more work right now. Then again, early in the game you lack information, and so getting hit by a Mind Rot can actually be a problem because you don't know what to discard. But if you have a bad hand, it isn't as good as if you have a good hand. And if you have a couple cards left and that's all, then it's much better than if you have either no cards left or a handful of cards to let you choose what to discard. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to Mind Rot him anyway for tempo reasons, because we did not hit a land there, because I discarded it. If I discarded the Mind Rot, we'd be playing a Blood Hunter Bat this turn, which feels like it would be a lot better right now. A lot better. So, not sure I made the right play there. Playing 17 land, sealed, was on the play. So there's still 13 land in my deck. Would not want to draw the Evolving Wilds at this point. I mean, it would be fine, I guess, but it wouldn't be super exciting. But under 50% chance to draw a land. Have a lot of high casting cost guys still in my deck, so I'm not in the best position right now, is what I'm trying to say. Then again, maybe our opponent is playing 2 games at once, so I'm going to go ahead and pause again until he comes back and makes a decision. Okay, opponent chose not to block, so our guys get through, which is exciting. I have the option of killing that. I decided that I think the Volcanic Geyser would be more valuable later. I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm going to Tempo Mind Rot him, not the best card here. I wish it were Blightning. So this is not an exciting play. He gets to choose 2 cards. I don't know if he's actually deciding right now or if he's playing this other game again. I'm not going to keep pausing it unless he's taking at least a minute or so. So I don't want to have to just keep shifting the time of the video. It would be sort of awkward. Okay, so I got him to discard a serious removal spell. That's something. And another Ravrats, which is basically like me getting to keep another card in my hand. At this point, I would definitely discard the Veilborn Ghoul, though. That is pretty unexciting at this point to have in my hand, since I would need to probably draw another land to even cast it. Well, I definitely need to draw another land, but need to draw another swamp to cast it. Okay. So that's another card that's like Ravenous Rats, I guess. Come on, land. Oh, that's bad. At least that guy swings over both these bros. So this turn, this thing can regenerate, so that's pretty unexciting. If I attack with both, he can double block the Scorpion, or he can just block the Walking Corpse and regen. So I don't feel like that's very good. So let's go ahead and just pass the turn. At this point, our win condition is upgraded to Firewing Phoenix. Something worth noting is I could kill the Chronometon with Volcanic Geyser. I guess what I'm hopeful for is that the Firewing Phoenix will eventually hit, knock into him a few times, and I can finish with the Geyser. He's not in a position where he's about ready to race me or anything. I'll tell you I didn't attack the Giant Scorpion because he would block and regenerate, and then I wouldn't be able to defend with this on my turn. Would I do that? I don't know. Not sure. It's not worth pushing through for 1 damage, I don't think. Be singing a different tune soon. But actually that Mind Rot ended up okay. Not disappointed with it. Because that Public Execution could have cost me the game later, I think. So let's see, what could I draw here? Go to my deck editor. Load it up. Apparently it's taken a while. Kindled Fury, would that be bad? Probably wouldn't be great. It's pretty good with the Pit Scorpion. So we're still waiting on him. So at this point, I've seen this card, I've seen this. So there are 3 cards I really don't want to draw. They're all these cards. Mutilate is probably not the best card to draw at this point. Flames to Firebrand would probably be fine. Already drawn this. Already drawn 1 Giant Scorpion. Bloodthorn Vampire is pretty bad at this point. Disentomb would be, I guess, playable. So what we want to draw at this point is land, pretty much. Not much else. Okay, so our opponent still isn't doing anything. I'm going to pause until he comes back. Mom, no, I'm playing in a tournament right now. Mom, can't you wait just a couple more hours? Okay, so I've just been sitting here for a while. I guess for you, you just, I don't know. I just unpaused it a minute ago, or I just paused it a second ago. It's the magic of editing and of pausing a recording. But two things I've been thinking about. One is that if this guy is double queuing or something, I have absolutely no qualms with trying to time him out in a long game 2, even if I lose game 1. You can't do that in paper magic because you get timed out too, kind of. So, but it's sort of, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this guy's got a bad connection, or maybe he's just thinking really hard, right? In combat stuff. Or maybe right now he's trying to juggle or something. My voice just cracked there. That was pretty putrid. So that's what I was thinking about. I was also thinking about how, he's back. Cool. How the first thing I would do if I drew another land would be to cast the Blood Hunter Bat, probably. Maybe that's wrong. I was going to say, because if it dies, that's less of a problem. I could recur the Firewing Phoenix, but nonetheless, I'd rather drop the Bat first, I think, to avoid removal because of the tempo swing that would be involved in him killing this. Killing this being the Firewing Phoenix. So maybe he's going to do something to us during our upkeep. Okay, well, at least we can do something. So the question now is, like, do I have to worry about Mutilate at this point? His Mutilate or mine? If it's his guy will live if it's next turn. Like, he could have a Mutilate. But I would have thought, I mean, it seems like he would pump Chronometon big enough to survive it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this sucks. Not sure if I'm saying anything else, but, you know, I discarded a land, and so that's my responsibility, assuredly. Sorry for the delay, man. Kids. Okay, so this guy's giving me a totally legitimate explanation. I hope everybody made it this far into the video to see his totally legitimate explanation. See, whenever I tell somebody, like, I mean something without sarcasm, it sounds like I'm saying it sarcastically. But no, that's a totally legitimate explanation. I mean, I don't know how to convey that without sarcasm. Like, I said that's a totally legitimate explanation for slow play. I didn't mean to, like... I don't know. This guy's got children. I don't have children. That's a heavy responsibility. So he's going to be beating me in a game of Magic, and he has children running around. Now, take back what I said before about having no qualms, timing him out. Now I have qualms. I'm not going to try to time him out. How would you try to time someone out? I guess just F2 periodically, let the person think you're making a decision, force them to watch your game. Seems dirty to me unless they're doing something that's unethical. Look at this guy. Think this guy'd be good in the Survival of the Fittest deck? I mean, he's no squee. So, no. Because any deck you're playing Survival, you probably wouldn't be playing this, bro. Unless you're, I don't know, you maxed out on squeeze. Not sure why you would do that. Okay, well that's to be expected. I decided not to geyser that because I'm not scared about it for a while, given the double giant Sko plan. Scorps. They remind me of the Scorpions in Spelunky. Anybody play that game? Alright, let's draw a card. Come on, land! No, a 5-drop. No good. Yeah, so any plays to make this turn? Don't think so. I think I'm just gonna... Okay, so I hope that wasn't sarcastic, but I see no reason for it to be. Just the inner monologue that I read all online script in is like, thanks. That's a totally legitimate explanation. Well, that just makes me sound like I'm a guy who lives in Seattle. Which I don't. What is this? Oh, he's gonna murder a Scorp? That's okay. I'm okay with that. That could have been a Bat or a Firewing Phoenix. So things are going to start happening now. Like, all my guys are going to start dying. It's pretty bad. Now it's looking pretty bad. So the racing plan now seems much less feasible. Chumping now is silly when this is just going to be bigger and I can chump it later. Oh good, a 6-drop. Okay, so I'm not going to be blocking on my turn, so I'm attacking. So throwing away that land, oh, well, it's good that I get to see that. That guy's brutal. Now the Firewing Phoenix Bloodhunter Bat plan is pretty bad. And since I'm so far gone in this game, I will not be playing anything. Not even that Disentomb. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. Let me tell you something, I think it is always right to not concede. I mean, in the sense that, in this case, I could be sending strange information, I could be making him nervous. So yeah, like, you just let things happen. You see if he's gonna, like, play something, reveal something, I just make sure I'm not going to. Let's let him know GG. Let's see if I can survive going to sideboarding this time, unlike last time. Oh god, I'm nervous. Is the recorder still working? You bet it is. Okay. Okay, so we saw some beefy guys, we saw some little rats, some other stuff. Chances are we're going to be discarding something. Nothing can tangle with that spider except a removal spell. Worth noting. Reckless Brutes don't seem particularly good against his Ravenous Rats. Mindclaw Shaman might net a murder, but I think our 5-drop slot is full. It's possible that we don't even want this Veilborn Ghoul. It's pretty bad against that spider, for instance. There's the Chandra's Fury against his rats. Could be promising, might not be. I might just want things big enough that I can ram them into a spider. I think maybe this is better than a Veilborn Ghoul. I do not think the Mindclaw Shaman is. There's Duress. It can take a piece of equipment or murder. I think I'd be willing to bring this in place of something relatively innocuous like Disentomb or Kindled Fury. I don't want to board out a creature. But I think I would be willing to board out this Kindled Fury, though. I mean, again, with a giant Scorps, it's questionable. But I think the combat trick is a little bit less interesting. So let's go ahead and submit. I do want to play first, just like last game. Again, we have a Mind Rot awkwardly. Maybe that would have been worth boarding out. Then again, it netted a couple cards last game quite effectively. But I'm keeping this hand, especially because the Rummaging Goblin. Oh, that guy's just pretty good. I mean, he's not just pretty good. He does some work. Say a bunch of other generic things. Chronometon first turn is kind of distressing to me. So this game, maybe we won't hit a 4th land again. Okay. So we did that main phase to save time, presumably. This guy's going to have 3 power. I think what I do here, almost assuredly, is I play another Swamp and I play the Goblin to potentially discard something. Now note that I can also discard something unless I want to just defend myself with Scorpion, but I don't think I do. So drawing another land would be an instance in which I would probably loot away a land or rummage away a land. I guess that's the new word. The Merfolk Looter and Rummaging Goblin. The red ability is Rummaging, the blue is Looting. Or Currying, in the case of Thought Courier. But I take it that this guy's going to come in and try to hit me for 3, which is fine. Because if he does that, like, then he can't pump him more. If he chooses to pump him more, he probably won't cast anything else. Yeah, so he's going to cast a Scorpion, that's fine. And then he's probably going to attack me for 3. That's cool. There's that Bloodthorn Vampire that sucks. That'll assuredly be the card I discard this turn. It's just bad right now. So, let's see. Do I try to survive? I try to survive till later in the game. And I think I do that by playing the Pit Scorpion, but I definitely loot away something first, and I don't want to do the land right now. Let's discard this. Okay, we have no 4-drops. This is the perfect time to play an Evolving Wilds. We can drop the Scorpion. I will trade the Scorpion for either of his guys. could murder it. I think that would be okay. He probably won't... He can't Essence Drain it this turn. Oh god, that ring. No. It's everything so big. Keep on, we still have the Mind Rot in hand. Yeah, he's just trying to save time. I think his deck is better than me, and he's in a better board position right now. I don't know if he knows that, but I certainly know it. It's weird that he equipped that before attacking. This sends me the signal that he's not going to attack, or if he thinks it's right to attack, he might lean in the direction of not doing so just because he made the inefficient play of equipping it before deciding to do that. What he probably did, actually, is he F6 to go take care of his kids again, and then forgot that it stopped at his combat step. In fact, I would be willing to bet money on that having been what just happened. So do I find a swamp or a mountain? Swamp gets my Mutilate bigger, mountain makes it possible for me to recur that other guy. Why can't I think of what it's called? Firewing Phoenix. Don't think that's going to be happening for a while. I would rather have my Mutilate be bigger and be able to cast multiple spells that are black in the same turn. And also pump my Liliana's Shade should that come down. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I should have found a mountain there and then I could have pitched this mountain. That might have been the right play. Now we have double Rise from the Grave, so don't know quite what to say about that. It's definitely not super exciting. I mean, I guess I want to play another land very soon. Then Rummaging Goblin doesn't look very good. The alternative is to pitch Servant and then Rise from the Grave, but I'd rather just pitch Rise from the Grave and cast the Servant, since that accomplishes the same thing. Attacking might be feasible, but it probably isn't. Let's see, on his turn, he's going to be able to regenerate his guy, so it'll probably get in. I want to keep the Scorpion back to block the Chronometon. A Scorpion is a big Essence Drain target, so you got to keep that in mind. That ring is rough on me. Okay, so let's do this turn. I'm going to play the... Servant even right to play? I can play the Servant. Gives me something to do later. And his Scorpion is going to be pretty big sooner or later. Could also rummage away the mountain to find something else, but I kind of want to keep it. I think it's unwise to rummage it. Okay, so what we're going to do is play the Servant, pass the turn, and I may rummage depending on what he does. If it doesn't look like I want to Mind Rot him, I might rummage that. But these Rise is really bad right now. What I take it that they're going to do is eventually allow me to keep recurring a Giant Scorpion. Did you hear that? An entire biker gang just drove by outside. So he's probably taking care of his kids again. I wonder if, like, what do you think's happening at the White and House? Which, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm construing that, but it sounds vaguely racist to me. That was supposed to be a joke, but I guess it wasn't funny at all. I bet the kids are saying things like, I want some orange juice, and how come your opponent has more creatures than you on the board? And he'll say things like, well, it's okay because mine are much better, and I've got control of the board. My wife says she wants some orange juice. It's not only children who love orange juice. I love a good OJ. Yeah, so... the part that makes me sad about this match is that I'm not sure... I don't think I've played excessively well, especially pitching that land last game. That I think really cost me the game. He's making suboptimal plays because he's so confident and just wants to make sure, well... now he's going to gain 4 life and draw 4 cards. That's going to be difficult to come back from. I was going to say he's making suboptimal plays solely for the sake of... because he's worried about timing out. It's actually really unfortunate what just happened there. I could attack with a Scorpion. I wasn't going to pitch anything. Now I think I'm actually going to pitch a Swamp. Right now. I'll probably draw the Gorgon. No, I drew a lame dude, and he's got 7 cards in his hand now, so, like, Mind Rotting him at this point seems, like, just awful. The one reason I might want to do it is because I can rise from the grave and stuff, but at this point, why wouldn't he keep his late game cards that I really want to rise from the grave? Might give me a few more options. I guess I could see attacking with a giant scorpion for 2 damage. It's something. Then in his turn, I don't really have any good blocks, so I don't think that's right. I'm also worried about getting mind rotted by him. So what I'm going to do is play another blocker and not mind rot him yet. I'm going to hold out on that. Got faith that that'll work out. I might still want to rummage it away too. So what would make our situation better? Playing a Gorgon and him not having removal for it, though it's pretty unlikely when he has so many cards in his hand. I'm actually sort of playing to draw the Gorgon. Another option is to make a bad attack here. Hear me out. And I should have thought about this before playing the Walking Corpse. Make a bad attack, like attacking with a Servant. Knocking his Disciple into the graveyard, and then rise from the graving it, but then I only get to draw 2 cards max, and that's terrible. It's like, I would love to gain X life and draw X cards with that's the creature's power, but my creatures all have crappy power if I make that play. So let's not do that. It could be a 2-step process where I rise from the grave 2 different creatures. I could like rise from the grave a Chronometon and then start pumping it, and then later do that. That just seems horrible to me. So I definitely need to do something about this. Hopefully I can draw a creature with higher power and then make that exact play. It would have to be quick because pretty soon he's not even going to have to pitch his Disciple since his Giant Scorpion is so big. But hopefully his Giant Scorpion comes in and I draw a big guy and can take advantage of that play next turn. Basically my point is that putting his Disciple into the graveyard might be really effective for us. Okay, well there goes that. So at least we don't have to worry about that Essence Drain right now. So his 4 power coming in worries me, to say the least. Let's draw Murder. Let's draw a removal spell this turn. I would also accept Flames of the Firebrand. That would be cool. Or some way to race. Sign in Blood would even be okay. Gorgon would be okay, even though I don't have land to play it this turn. Okay, so he's playing conservatively. He might pass this turn, but his clock is getting low. My guess is he attacks here. Okay. That's interesting. I'm definitely blocking that. I think this is our opportunity to do exactly that play I was just talking about, where I take it and sacrifice now something with 3 power to draw 3 cards, gain 3 life, which could get us out of the situation. It's not the best. It involves sacking 2 guys for 3 cards, but I really need to dig right now for someone to deal with that Scorpion. Again, the Gorgon would be a good way to deal with the Scorpion. He's so many cards deeper than I... Actually, he's only 1 card deeper in his deck than I am. I guess it's just because I Evolving Wilds, which isn't the most exciting thing. But I've rummaged a couple times. Okay, there's a Mutilate that, right now doesn't kill that Scorpion, and it never will. Let's think about this. Could make a bad attack and wipe the board. That's better than recurring his Disciple and doing that. So, attacking with the Servant is what I do here. He's at such high life, there's no way he's going to block. So he's just going to take 4. That's the obviously smart play to make. I mean, you might think about it for a while, but if this were my situation, I were at 27 life, I would not block. Okay, so now we attempt the other play, which is much more entertaining right now. So I'm targeting this, and we're going to make it come into play, and I'm sacking that 4 power guy. Yes. Sacrifice Servant. Okay, so now we can play a land and duress him. That seems to be the order of business for this turn. Prey upon in public execution. Wow, that's... Wow, I'm in some trouble. A guy with 7 toughness. So, prey upon costs 1. It's bad for me. It's all bad for me. I wish I could get that Silklash Spider in his graveyard. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take the public execution, I think. You can't cast the Silklash Spider and the Prey Upon even in the same turn. And then I'm gonna go ahead and rummage away the mountain, I think, at the end of his turn. Oh, he's gonna Crippling Blight that guy? I think my wife's laughing at that. No, it's okay. It's funny. Okay, Disentomb, so we can take back, see what options are. Oh yeah, that guy. I almost forgot. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. So, I guess, like, the best thing to Disentomb would be a Scorpion, but it's certainly not very impressive. See, another option is to block this and take it back again with another Rise from the Grave, but I believe it requires you to sacrifice another creature, which is pretty unimpressive. So we'll wait for another turn to do that. Make that awesome play. If there's any way I can get rid of the spider, that would be pretty cool. Because then I can take it. But right now with 4 swamps in the yard, that's looking pretty hard to do. Oh, mountain. That's not a swamp. I could also recur the Rummaging Goblin. That seems pretty bad. I could Disentomb it, though. That seems a little less bad. If I had another swamp, I could attack into a Silklash Spider at least and mop up most of his board. He's got 2 cards in hand. I believe one of them is a swamp, and I believe the other one is a Prey Upon. I think playing this is worthwhile, so let's make his let's make his Prey Upon go away. Okay, well that's something. It is a thing. And then I think the next play is to play the Scorpion. If I can do that. Yeah. And then, like, so do I blow the Disentomb now because I have the tempo to do so? I could also take the Servant. I mean, that's a useful utility creature at least. And I can make a similar play like I did a couple turns ago. I guess that's cool. It's not all that cool. Certainly not the best thing in the world. Might set up a situation where... I'll block my clock. Finding the Giant Scorpion, however, would allow me just to stall more, but that doesn't get me any closer to winning. That Giant Scorpion on his side is going to get so big, it's never going to go away until I can't even think of a situation which would get smaller. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is Disentombing doesn't seem all that effective right now, though I suppose I could set up for another Rise from the Grave. I'd rather keep it as insurance later if I draw the Gorgon. Oh, you just drew a murder? Why did that happen? You just topped it? Why can't I draw a murder? Okay, so here, this might sound silly, but I think I'm going to block the Arbor Elf. Again, the rationale is going to be I can recur this thing and do some fun stuff later with it, I guess. Pretty bad. We're preventing 1 damage now. I could just use this to prevent 5 and take 3. I think I'd rather prevent in this particular way. No, you know what? If I'm going to block with this thing, I think it's going to be the Spider, the Scorpion rather, and then we get to keep This thing only deals 2, and if I play the Scorpion and recur it, then the Arbor Elf isn't going to come in. So let's go ahead and do this. Stay alive for now. I think that's the right time to chump because I might want to get him back with Rise from the Grave. As before. Cool, another mountain. Okay, so he's putting a regen shield on to save time. Okay, yeah, so let's choose a card from our graveyard. So I can do Servant and then Rise from the Grave and draw a bunch of cards again. That lets me... I'll be at 4 after he attacks with no cards out. I draw 3 cards. I can do that this turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can't do all that this turn. How upsetting. Could also take the Giant Scorpion and hold down the fort. I think that's probably just better right now. There we go. Is there anything else I want of his? As if I'd taken Chronometon ages ago. Could have done something with that. At least this blocks Soul Clash Spider. Definitely play this turn. Because then I can Mutilate and play Rise from the Grave in the same turn. Again, this match doesn't look so good. He's almost clocked out, but he would definitely beat us before then anyway. He's drawing something else that's really good. Oh man. Wow. So we Mind Rod him and he's pulled off a bunch of relevant cards from the top. I mean, that thing dies to Mutilate, but something dying to Mutilate is not very relevant at this point. If he attacks with that Scorpion, I'm going to block it, in case. So, like, here's the chance. We have to draw Murder or something to take care of that, and then we're still in pretty bad shape. So, yeah. Basically, he put himself in a position where we have an out at this point. It's Murder. Murders are out. Yep, you got it. Okay. So, let's let our Scorp die. Let's draw Murder. That was not a murder. So can I make that happen again? Let's see. We definitely play the Swamp. Now, I think I target... we're not going to have another chance like that, unfortunately. Can also target Chronometon. That's humorous, I suppose. I think we have to target another Scorpion, put him in the same position. The same unexciting position. Like killing me, so the right play could involve killing Soul Clash Spider, I'm sorry, killing the Pack Leader and the Arbor Elf before playing this. Does the Mutilate really do anything else now? I could find 2 more Swamps and kill the Soul Clash Spider with it. I could do that next turn too, though, because I don't think it's going to get in there when I have 6, 7... That would put me at 2, and I would kill the Soul Clash Spider and then Mutilate, and then lose the next turn, unless I drew something. That isn't good. This question is, do I want to play the Mutilate now? I have an extra guy out. You know, I actually think I have to, because one of my only outs is that stupid bird, the Phoenix. So I think actually rising the Scorpion is fine here, and not mutilating ahead of time, because the Phoenix is one of my few ways out. And I don't want him to just be able to Silk Clash it. Because like drawing that, I could at least infinitely block. And then I think I could actually win the game. So Phoenix might be like a quasi-out. Not if he just keeps drawing things like this, though. Oh, man. I mean, look. Like, I know I made some questionable plays, but he's done pretty well for himself this game. He just drew gas into more gasoline. Is he just going to combo off and kill me this turn? Oh, they're all coming in this time. So this would be 7, 8. This would put me up 1. 1 is pretty bad. Yeah, so we have to find some way to deal with the scorpion, which I don't think we will. I could block the spider, keep the scorpion alive for another turn, and basically mutilate the board. And that leaves everything but the scorpion. What are my options at that point? Because he can regenerate. I guess I have to hope that he's going to play another guy this combat, and then I'm going to draw murder. So, like, my plan is to block the spider, kill the spider, take a ton of damage. He plays something to leave himself no regen shield, which would be an error, I think, on his part. I don't know what this window is telling me. I'm not even doing anything. Okay, he didn't do that, so I don't think we have any outs at this point. Probably a land. What's he? Oh, he's regenerating. Okay, that's fine. Okay, a Volt Geyser. So let's see, if I would have taken that... No, he'd still have the regen shield. It would have been funny, though. So, like, I don't believe I have any plays this turn. Mutilate is a necessity, so attacking first seems like the right play. Let's see, so that's at 9. I have 7. I can do 7 with this. So I can't even force that to tap and regen. So I think attacking with this has to be right, first of all. And then I can see if he's F6'd. Because if he's F6'd and I mutilate, I mean, that would be sort of a filthy way to win this game. But it looks like he's F6'd. Or F4'd probably is more likely. No, I won't be able to kill it because it's already got a regen shield, and that would remove all the damage on its going to the graveyard. So we're just going to go ahead. I mean, this reveals that we're holding a mutilate. And it doesn't even do enough damage. I still wouldn't be able to kill this. So let's dome ourselves. Alright, folks. I'll see you next round. Come on, target ourselves. There we go. 1. Okay.